Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6 at noon.
And thanks for joining us at noon. I'm Louis Bolden. We start with breaking news. A deputy hurt in a shooting earlier this week is out of the hospital and on the road to recovery. Deputy Jose Rivera was hit twice when investigators say a man opened fire while responding to a call at a Deltona home. The sheriff's office believes his body camera may have actually saved his life. News 6's Molly Reed is live at Dewey O'Boster Park. And Molly, this is an exciting moment all around. I know a lot of people are concerned about this deputy, and he actually just took a chopper ride. Okay, we're going to work on getting that audio from Molly Reed, but this deputy has been in the hospital for about a day and a half now. It was a terrible situation when he went to this house in Deltona, and the homeowner just opened fire and ended up shooting the deputy a few times. In fact, they tell us that his body camera, one of the bullets hit his body camera, and they believe that kept that bullet from piercing his heart. So he is now getting out of the hospital. He is now getting out of the hospital, and now we have Molly Reed. Let's go back to Molly. Molly, we've got you now.
Yeah, sorry about that with some audio issues. Yeah, sorry about that. We had some audio issues here, but Deputy Jose Rivera, he just took the helicopter from Halifax Hospital in Daytona Beach. He just landed here in Deltona on the field, and you can see right behind me this procession line he's about to come through with all of his co-workers, other deputies from the Volusia Sheriff's Office, and police officers from Volusia County, and other officials from around Volusia, all very excited to greet him home here in Deltona. He's getting ready to come through here in just a minute. He landed on a field a little farther away, and Sheriff Mike Chitwood was there to greet him, along with some of the other leadership from the Volusia Sheriff's Office. Now, since this shooting, the craziest thing you were just talking about, Louis, is the sheriff has been calling this divine intervention. Just how crazy it was that one of the bullets that could have gone through his chest actually hit his body camera and ricocheted through his shoulder, and then he was also shot in the thigh. But both places, the sheriff says, this was survivable, but this could have been a much different story, which is why this is such a big moment for him coming here today after about a day and a half in the hospital. Again, this shooting happened here in Deltona Monday night. The sheriff says that Deputy Rivera and one of his trainees showed up to a home for a vandalism call. They opened the door, and the suspect basically then almost immediately opened fire on them. His trainee was able to run around the corner. Deputy Rivera tried to shoot back, but at that point he was already shot. So they were able to arrest that suspect, but Deputy Rivera, his fellow deputies on the scene, had to rush him to the hospital. And we do have some video now, I think, of him taking off from Halifax and some of the other moments over the last few days. You can hear them clapping now. If we want to come back out live to our view here, you can see people are starting to clap. He's about to come through right now. I'll let you listen in a little bit.
Present arms.
You can see him coming through now. He's on this four-wheeler, or golf cart rather, with his family. Very emotional in there. His entire family is crying in there. He's about to get off, and they're going to take him in a cruiser in a procession back to his home. Now, I think a lot of people are probably wondering what the Air One ride was all about. Why did he get a ride in the helicopter? Well, we were told that a couple weeks before this shooting actually happened, Deputy Rivera asked for a ride in the helicopter. He said, "I've never been able to do that. Could I get a ride one day since I'm a deputy here with the Sheriff's Office?" And Sheriff Chitwood then, but we're going to do it. He's there now, getting ready for his ride, but he wanted to take a ride for the first time, so today they took him up in the helicopter from Halifax Hospital, and now then took him on a ride a little bit to see Volusia County, see the ocean, and now he's here. He's limping a little bit, saying hi to his friends and fellow deputies. Some of them were there Monday night when this call happened. Again, very emotional for the family also of Deputy Rivera, as they're seeing a lot of these deputies who rushed him to the hospital Monday night when he started bleeding heavily, saving his life. Some of the deputies also on scene tied a tourniquet around him to stop the bleeding as soon as possible. So just a very emotional welcome home. And again, after this here at Dewey Booster Park, they're going to take him in one of the cruisers back to his house, where he will then spend some time recovering, we're told. But Sheriff Chitwood did tell us that he is just itching to get back on the job, and just said, you know, as scary as this was, this is the reality of what they face. So, yeah, it looks like saying hello to more deputies, and they're going to give him a ride. We were told that he didn't really want to be in the spotlight too much, but the sheriff said, you deserve a huge ride home today. So that is why we're here, and you can see he's now walking to his ride home, where again he's going to spend some good time recovering.
Well, Molly,
after this, and then hopefully we'll get back on the job.
Molly, he is physically on the mend. He has a little bit of a limp there, but you have to wonder emotionally how he's doing. I know he's got to be thrilled to see his family. It appears he has some small children as well.
Yeah, absolutely, very emotional. You could see him emotional. You could see his wife and the children emotional here today. And of course, the deputies, again, we saw them even crying a little bit. Just so thankful to see him here on the mend, walking in a moment that, you know, after a moment that could have been much different. Again, the sheriff calling this divine intervention, that he is walking here and alive today.
That's right. And, you know, the sheriff has been saying this is a miracle. And when you see that body camera, when you see the video of it and how the bullet went there, it really is a miracle.
It absolutely is. I mean, we haven't been able to get the body camera video from Deputy Rivera's point of view, but we sure saw that body camera. I mean, it was shattered from the bullet. And yesterday we were able to see some of the other deputies' video that was with him, and it just how many rounds.
And Molly, we also wonder if we will get a chance to hear from that deputy. So we will check back on this situation when we can. The Pentagon has released the names of all 6 service members killed in a drone strike on a U.S. military facility in Kuwait. They have also released pictures for 4 of those soldiers. The president has said more troops may die as a result of Operation Epic Fury, which continues to expand. Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the U.S. will take all the time it needs as the U.S.-Israeli operation against Iran enters day 5.
We have only just begun to hunt, dismantle, demoralize, destroy, and defeat their capabilities.
The conflict appears to be expanding, with Turkey saying it shot down an Iranian missile headed toward the NATO members' airspace. And the Pentagon released video of a U.S. submarine sinking an Iranian naval vessel near Sri Lanka in the Indian Ocean. It's the first time a U.S. sub has sunk a ship with a torpedo since World War II.
This is an incredible demonstration of America's global reach. To hunt, find, and kill an out-of-area deployer is something that only the United States can do at this type of scale.
Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane says the types of aerial attacks on Iran will be intensifying, which could put U.S. pilots much closer to the fighting.
We will now begin to expand inland, striking progressively deeper into Iranian territory.
A new CBS News poll finds most Americans feel the Trump administration has not clearly explained the U.S. goals in the conflict with Iran. The administration has accused Iran of negotiating in bad faith and trying to buy time to rebuild its nuclear program.
Once the president made a decision that negotiations were not going to work, that they were playing us on the negotiations, and that this was a threat that was untenable, the decision was made to strike them.
The justification is ever changing.
Democratic lawmakers also question the end game.
Our generation of veterans So many will bear the cost for as long as they are alive of the last Middle East regime change wars, the forever wars that so many of us served in.
The Senate is expected to vote this afternoon on a war powers resolution, but it's not expected to pass. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
35-year-old Cody Cork from Florida was among the 6 soldiers killed. Cork was a Polk County native. His family says he'll be remembered for his infectious spirit and deep care for those who served alongside him. And we are 1 week away from Apopka's election for mayor, and we are working to meet with each candidate to find out their vision for the city. Coming up, what current City Commissioner Christine Moore has to say about her campaign and her vision for downtown.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Welcome back. We are now just a week away from Apopka's election for mayor. News 6 anchor Matt Austin is teaming up with the Orlando Sentinel to ask the 3 candidates about their plans for the city, including their vision for downtown. Yesterday, we showed you a portion of the current mayor, Brian Nelson's answer, and today we hear from Orange County Commissioner Christine Moore.
Let's talk about Apopka's downtown. It has recently undergone a pretty big, vivid transformation, but we have certainly seen some businesses are struggling. We've seen restaurants and at least one bar shut down. There are still some problems with traffic there and other issues. So tell the voters really, what is your idea? What is your vision for downtown Apopka, Ms. Moore?
So I moved downtown and I love being there, but it's challenging. I can't even get my bike across the street to the main park because of that 4-lane highway. We are in the middle of a safety study before we resurface Park Avenue to look at some raised intersections, taking some medians out for trees to slow people down a little bit, looking at some crosswalks in strategic places. As far as the business side of things, do really similarly to what Winter Garden did, where you bring in all kinds of festivals and you start incubating small businesses that can eventually come up and have their own site. And I look forward to the day we get a movie with ecotourism and a cute downtown. That would be my goal.
City Commissioner Nick Nesta is the third candidate. Matt asked him the same question. We will air his response tomorrow. And meantime, if you'd like to see the entire interview, you can find it on clickorlando.com. Just look right on the home page. And this isn't the only local race we're following right now. Coming up on News 6 tonight, our Lauren Melendez is catching up with Ruthie Critton, who is vying for the Edenville seat.
We want to make sure that we're providing resources to the residents that are interested in home ownership.
Hear what Critton has to say and why she wants to explore taxable opportunities. That is coming up tonight. And we want to recap that breaking news that we saw. Deputy Jose Rivera was released from Halifax Hospital. He had a harrowing situation after he went to responded to a scene in Deltona, and the person there opened fire. So he was in the hospital for about a day and a half. He was reunited, as you can see right here, with his coworkers and with his family. He's been through a tough situation. He was shot a few times. That's why he was in the hospital. But one of those bullets caught his body camera. And so you can see him right there. It was just really a nice reunion, and Central Florida is pulling for him. Candace, and you witnessed that reunion as well. Something to see, right?
Oh my gosh, and his 3 babies behind him with his wife. So it's just great to see smiles in a procession like that,
exactly.
Right? All right, let's talk about the weather forecast across the air. The weather looks like it's certainly holding up. That's certainly some good news, especially for his helicopter ride. That was really cool. Looking here at the satellite and radar composite, big ridge of high pressure remains in control, and that's going to continue to keep things relatively stable, where we are not really tracking any big changes in the forecast. But the atmosphere still has enough moisture in the air to produce some of those scattered showers. So today, if you get caught under a quick moving rogue shower, it will not last long. Count yourself as lucky as you won the rain lotto this afternoon. So again, as of right now, radio sweeps are going around, really not picking up much. As we look here at the clouds and rain futurecast, you can see that steady flow moving from east to west over the next couple of hours. And that once again will be able to produce a couple spotty showers or two. I don't really see much of a thunderstorm chance. So coverage today is still at only about 20%. Now, as we head into your Thursday, I do see a slight uptick in the rain because we're seeing a little bit more of an organized sea breeze, and that's really going to almost act like a squeegee, right? And as it continues to move from the coast inland, it's going to really clear out the skies. So that's why the coast might stay mostly dry and clear throughout the afternoon, where the cloud cover will start to develop. Very summer-like, just not with the heat intensity or the storm activity as well. But you can see some scattered showers can't be ruled out as we progress into the Thursday afternoon hour here. So do expect rain chances again to go up a little bit. But we're really not looking at a rain out at all in the forecast, at least throughout the next 7 days. So temperatures out the door right now, plenty of sunshine. We're starting to heat things up. The sea breeze really hasn't pushed in just yet, so that's why temperatures are still in the upper 70s to low 80s, almost area-wide. But now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for your Wednesday.
Your forecast is sponsored by Strata Services.
Upper 70s to low 80s this afternoon, still running well above average, but that big dome of high pressure is going to remain in place for the next couple of days, keeping things much warmer than where they should be for this time of the year, not only for us here in Central Florida, but further north as well. Even look at Tampa. By this week or by Friday and into the weekend, we could be closing in at near 90 degrees across our western counties. Even as far north as about Nashville, we could be in those mid 80s. So let's talk a little bit about the weekend, because not only could we see temperatures nearing records on Sunday, our high of 87 degrees, a little bit of rain in the forecast, but one thing that is guaranteed that you will notice is how different the time will be. This is going to be a shock to the system, especially as you go to bed Saturday night. That sunset will be around 6:30. Move that clock ahead 1 hour, sunset Sunday night. Good luck trying to get the kids and the pets and things like that to bed Sunday night on time, because the sun will still be shining as late as 7:30. As a result, your full 7-day forecast again, a couple of scattered showers here and there. Temperatures again climbing throughout the weekend. And again, that hour moves ahead. You go to bed Saturday night. Lewis.
All right, Candace, thank you. A new safe space for pets of domestic violence survivors. Now in Daytona Beach, they'll have somewhere to go to get loved and cared for as their owners recover. Coming up, the ribbon cutting that happened for that shelter today. Welcome back. In Daytona Beach, a first of its kind emergency shelter is now open for pets of domestic violence survivors. A ribbon cutting ceremony was held this morning for the Color Pet Resource Center. It is a collaboration between the Halifax Humane Society and the Domestic Abuse Council. The program addresses an often overlooked reality. Many survivors often delay leaving out of fear for their pets' safety. Through the new shelter, there is around-the-clock care and protection while pet owners transition out of an abusive situation. Welcome back, and we want to end the show with another look at that hero's welcome home for Volusia Deputy Jose Rivera. He was released from the hospital today and took a chopper ride to Dewey-Oboster Park, where the community was waiting to welcome him home. Deputy Rivera was shot twice while investigating a vandalism case this week. One of the bullets hit his body camera, likely saving his life. And he will finish his recovery at home. It is so nice to see the community out there and see his fellow deputies out there. Everybody.
All first responders. I mean, it really brings the community together. And what a show force as well.
Yeah, and to see his family and his small kids and everything, it was great.
Hopefully he'll be able to recover at home even with all the kids running around. So, right? All right, let's take a look at what's going on in the next 7 days. Temperatures are going to continue to warm up. Notice Sunday, a high of 87 degrees. Lewis, that could be pretty close to breaking some records. Just in time for us to lose that extra hour of sleep. Now, as of right now, it looks like our best shot for some scattered showers comes in tomorrow afternoon, Thursday. Rain chances about 40% or so. I know it looks very summer-like, right? A little bit of rain, a little bit of that warmth. We need humidity to go up a little bit. We need temperatures to go up a little bit before we officially trigger the rainy season. But hey, we'll take whatever rain we can get.
All right, Candace, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us this noon. Our next newscast is at 3. We'll see you then.